It's the 2024 Paris Olympics, guys. Yeah, I didn't actually know the Olympics were coming up, or when they were held until the internet told me. I don't pay attention to this stuff. I'm not a sports guy, in case it's not obvious. However, if you hang around right-leaning spaces online, you'll probably have heard that there's a controversy surrounding the Olympics right now. Because, of course there is. Everything is controversial nowadays. Apparently, a few clips have gone viral that have gotten under some people's skin. Alright, let's take a look at them. Oh wait, there's no video here. This is from Libs of TikTok, you know, the right-leaning culture war aggregator account. The actual opening ceremony of the Olympics. This isn't parody, RIP. But the video's gone. In fact, it's being deleted all over Twitter. This copy of it, posted by Colin Rugg, had 4 million views before it was taken down. Here's how he described it. New, or at least it's not breaking, the 2024 Paris Olympics gets off to an interesting start at their opening ceremony, which featured drag queens, a decapitated head, and a Smurf with his bulge out. The first musical interlude was done by pop star Lady Gaga, who sang in French. French authorities are currently dealing with suspected acts of sabotage on the high-speed rail network as this clown show continues. Whoa, that sounds kind of wild, actually. It's so wild, in fact, that the official Olympics YouTube channel actually deleted its video of the Paris 2024 opening ceremonies, because apparently it was getting dogpiled in the comments. Other opening ceremonies are still available on the channel. London 2012, Rio 2016, Beijing 2022, but this one is gone. Some people are even claiming that the Olympics is desperately trying to memory hole the event using DMCA takedowns, because it apparently includes mockery of Christians, grown men exposing themselves in front of children, and open degeneracy. There are some pictures of the event being reposted though. The most common one I've seen floating around is this recreation of the Last Supper as if it was some kind of woke character select screen. We've got morbidly obese female Jesus, 4 different flavors of drag queen, a couple of flamboyantly gay men over there, and yes, that looks like it might be a cross-dressing child. Clips of this event do exist though, and even though it might absolutely destroy my channel, fuck it, let's take a look.
Performing the song King, costumes, none other than Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, I have no idea what's supposed to be going on here. A bit later in that same presentation, the supper of the Last Supper is served, and it turns out to be a naked blue man serenading the world over live TV. I'm not even joking, just take a look.
Philippe Catherine, je vous laisse avec lui. Ça s'appelle Nu, et là, il y a un choix artistique.
Non, ou cacher un revolver quand on est tout nu. Ou je sais où vous pensez, mais c'est pas une bonne idée. Ouais.
Yeah, I know, I'm the worst Canadian ever. But guess what, guys? I don't know a lick of French. I have no idea what he's singing here. However, considering that he's gesturing to his crotch, I can take an educated guess. So it's this next part that people believe points to child abuse, live on air at the fucking Olympics. Let's go over the claim rationally. The small person dressed in yellow, that looks like a child. I don't think it's a midget anyway, so probably a kid. And then there's a foppish gay man beside her. Him? Whatever. I don't know if this kid is actually cross-dressing, but I wouldn't be surprised. The Twitter account Grums, from many a culture war story, but most recently the Stellar Blade thing, posted this take. This guy did this deliberately. They put a child right next to him. They're sending a message. Now they're copyright striking anyone who posts the video at the Olympic opening ceremony. You ever wondered why Concorde looks like this? It's not an accident. They want this in games too. Alright, good way to hook it back to your main audience with the Concorde thing, dude. But you know what? I know you stole that joke from Smash TV. But the image Grums included is this one, where the still frame makes it look like one of the foppish guy's balls is hanging out. And I mean, is that actually his nutsack? I don't know, man. It could be like a weird video artifact. This isn't exactly caught in 4K here. That could be a thigh gap, like that's the leg of somebody behind him? I'm not sure. Are we actually looking at someone's balls flopping out of their tights on one of the most watched events in the world? But then Grums highlights the shorter woman beside him with this arrow like she's the child, and his tweet caption makes it sound like it. However, this grown woman, that's not the child. In fact, she's wearing completely different clothing. She's a completely different height. Moreover, Grums' screen grab comes from this section of the ceremony where the fat naked blueberry is rolling around on a platter of food, and these people are in the background and they're moving around, and it looks like the child at this point is completely gone. Now just so we're clear, guys, this is still really fucking weird. Like, I'm not cheering on what's happening here, but it does not actually seem like the kid was present when this lower wardrobe malfunction happened. That being said, people definitely still objected to this, and fair enough. Just because the child was not actually face to face with an exposed ball sack does not excuse the rest of it. One guy, Matt Wallace, whoever he is, dropped this claim. Developing! A family member of this child at the Transgender Olympics sent me a message claiming they are allegedly being sexually trafficked and abused. Oh my god, dude. 6.4 million views on this claim. You got proof of this, right? Like, you're gonna post something, right? It is taking so much self-control to not reveal everything I know too early. The time will come. Oh, okay. I mean, maybe it'll still come out before this is out of the news cycle and everyone forgets? Probably not, though. Anyway, the Smurf sing-along continues a little bit more, until it suddenly becomes an MC Hammer video. Well, alright then. Since this event was scrubbed off the internet, I'm working off of incomplete clips here. So let's jump ahead to the next one. We're back on the Last Supper table, and now there's a bearded woman in a blue dress dancing around. That is so obviously a fake beard, dude. You know, this would otherwise be like a normal pop thing. The dancing, the angles, the type of music, the dress. This is all par for the course, but you just had to make her the bearded lady. The next section people are up in arms about, I actually really like. I'll just let you watch it for yourself.
Les aristocrates à la lanterne, ça ira. Les aristocrates, on les pendra.
What? Dude, that's fucking metal. We've got this rendition of Liberty Leading the People that transitions into a singing headless Marie Antoinette, which then transitions into a rock ballad fire show. Like, you have these guitarists who are hanging out the windows of this castle, man. This is awesome. I know there are some people out here complaining about the satanic imagery on the Olympics, but this part, at least, is the literal coolest thing ever. You know, it really feels like we're looping back around to getting a moral panic about rock and roll again, guys. So yeah, this part was great. Everything else, though, I get it. The imagery of the Olympics has to be about at least one of three things. 1, sports, 2, the national imagery of the host country, and 3, a shared common humanity. It's obvious how the Marie Antoinette part of the show applies. This is an artistic depiction of a defining moment in French history. The other stuff, though? Well, on the surface of it, it just seems to be a mockery of Christian imagery, unrelated to any Olympic value. When I was watching these clips for the first time, it really did feel like they were subverting the Last Supper by making it LGBTQIA, and maybe a little bit of the P in there as well. Though who knows? Maybe this is also essential French imagery, since France is well known as being one of the most debauched nations on Earth. Maybe this is all just cultural pride, I don't fucking know. There is more to this story than meets the eye, but let's go over a handful of other Olympic-related events first. Like, check out this TV advertisement for the Olympics that played in France up to the opening of the games.
La musique de Cassius?
Tout à fait. En même temps, qui n'a jamais rêvé de s'embrasser à Paris?
So this seems to depict a man and a woman, and then another guy in makeup getting into a makeout session on the stairs. Then there's a cut to some Olympic flags, then there's a cut to the three of them arriving back at an apartment where they're clearly about to fuck. What does a threesome have to do with the Olympics, guys? Oh, here's a fun exchange. Rand Paul's wife, Kelly Paul, posted, "I'm sad for young people today. Remember when families could enjoy the Olympics together and celebrate excellence in sports?" Well, she got a reply from some Antifa account saying, yes, remember back when the Olympics left politics out of it? With a picture from the 1936 games, which were held in Nazi Germany. Now, I don't know exactly what you're trying to say here, pal, because I'm pretty sure most normal people think that the Nazi Olympics and the Drag Queen Olympics are both objectionable. Nazi Olympics more so, to be fair, but we don't gotta choose between two bad options. Like, are you actually saying that the Olympics should be political because the Nazis did it? Actually, speaking of the 1936 games, this reminds me of that time back in 2020, where the official Twitter account of the Olympics posted this message. This is turning out to be quite a throwback Thursday. Berlin 1936 marked the first Olympic torch to relight to bring the flame to the cauldron. Hashtag stronger together, along with this video of the Olympic Games under the Nazis. That is what the kids call a big oof. There is, in fact, a long history of the Olympics being used for political purposes, and 2024 is no exception. Palestinians are competing in this year's games as their own nation, and their presence has expectedly emboldened activists. You've got people in the crowds wearing Free Palestine shirts, holding up Genocide Olympics banners. There's people booing at the Israeli national anthem.
Now, if you can, please get standing for the national anthem of Israel.
Probably the funniest clip that I've seen is this guy after a soccer match talking about the game, when an Israeli citizen comes up to angrily insist that things remain apolitical.
And what do you think about the game?
I thought it was a good game. I thought in the beginning Israel was better, but now Mali is is destroying them, I think. Israel is not bad. Israel is not bad, but I think Mali is going to destroy them today. No, I'm just talking about football. I'm just talking about football. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
You know, as somebody who is generally pro-Israel, that was funny as fuck. The kid was clearly only there to talk about soccer, and this dude shows up and starts acting like an ass. So of course he's gonna rub it in his face. I've got one last story for you that'll bring us full circle. Telecommunications company C-Spire put out this statement. We were shocked by the mockery of the Last Supper during the opening ceremonies of the Paris Olympics. C-Spire will be pulling our advertising from the Olympics. Oh wow, these guys are actually sticking by their values. Hold on though, I've never heard of C-Spire before. Well, it seems like C-Spire began as Cellular South, a Mississippi-based telecom. It provides cell phone coverage and home internet in Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. Okay, so these guys aren't exactly one of the huge telecoms in the industry. They seem to be a regional company. Did these guys even run advertisements at the fucking Paris Olympics? I can't find any evidence that they did. Tons of people are talking about how they're withdrawing, but nobody's showing exactly what they're withdrawing. Maybe it's just not on the internet, but I can't find anything showing that C-Spire ever advertised at the Olympics in the first place. So maybe this is just a marketing stunt, or a way to virtue signal. Nonetheless, there are a lot of people out there who are angry at the Paris Olympics for mocking the Last Supper, one of the most important events in Christianity. Let's examine this claim. According to the director of the opening ceremony, this scene isn't the Last Supper.
Ce n'est pas mon inspiration. D'ailleurs, je crois que c'était assez clair. Il y a Dionysos qui arrive sur cette table. Dionysos qui est là pourquoi? Parce qu'il est d'abord le dieu de la mythologie grecque de la fête, et le tableau s'appelle Festivité. Dieu du vin, qui est un des fleurons aussi de la France, et père de Sequana qui est la déesse qui est reliée au fleuve, la Seine. Et l'idée était plutôt de faire une grande fête païenne reliée au dieu de l'Olympe, olympisme. Et vous ne trouverez jamais chez moi, ni chez moi ni dans mon travail, une quelconque volonté de moquerie ou de dénigrer qui que ce soit. J'ai voulu faire une cérémonie qui répare, une cérémonie qui réconcilie.
It's the Dionysia, however you pronounce that. It's a large festival from ancient Athens, in honor of the god Dionysius, the Greek god of wine, fertility, festivity, ritual madness, religious ecstasy, and theater. He's also known as the Liberator, as his influence frees his followers from self-consciousness, and basically allows them to party worry-free. He's also a subverter of oppression. He's often presented on a platter of food with grapes in his hair, just like the blue guy was. So this isn't Christian imagery, this is ancient Greek imagery, which completely fits the theme of the Olympics. Don't get me wrong, it was still fucking weird. That kid shouldn't have been there. But the whole blasphemy angle, that doesn't seem to exist. At least according to the official Olympics Twitter account, which confirmed this interpretation of events. But that's not the only view gaining traction right now. You know that fat lady who was center stage? Well, after the event concluded, she took one of those comparison images floating around and posted it to her Instagram with the caption, "The New Gay Testament," which does sound like a Last Supper connection. Shortly afterward, she took the image down and replaced it with another one with the caption "Feast of the Gods," which seemingly confirms the Greek connection. So, was the sequence actually originally intended to be a Last Supper reference, but the massive online backlash has caused everyone involved to switch gears, and the fat woman's online post getting quickly scrubbed is proof of the wagons circling? Or was it always intended to be a reference to Greek Olympic culture instead, and the fat woman's post was basically just ignorance on her part, reacting to a viral picture she thought was cool? We can't really know either way. Here's what I do know though. Regardless of whether or not the slight was real or perceived, there is absolutely a contingent of people online who want Christians to be enraged. And I don't mean those who are mocking Christians right now. For example, why would they have faked this headline? Yeah, this is a completely fake article, doesn't exist, even though it's gone viral a whole bunch now. And it's the exact type of rage bait that either a propagandist or a troll would invent, specifically to wind right-wingers up. These people want you to be angry, because if you're angry, then you're jumping to conclusions, you're not thinking, and you are controllable.
As a Christian, how are you not furious? How are you not angry by what they've just done? They've openly mocked your entire religion from head to toe. One of the most sacred images throughout all of Western civilization, the Last Supper. They mocked it. And you're just going to sit there as a Christian and what? Forgive? Turn the other cheek. Oh, just turn the other cheek, forgive. I don't know what it's going to take for you people to stand up and stop taking this shit.
What would
France is supposed to be a Christian fucking country.
Other people have taken a less religious angle with their complaints, comparing the Paris opening ceremonies to the incredible presentations of past Olympics, and asking the question, why did the previous festivities have these amazing displays while Paris just did this? And you know, I get it. But there's two answers to that question. One, other Olympic ceremonies have had more weird or lighthearted elements as well. Not Russia or China, I wouldn't expect them to do it. But for example, the London Olympics had a bunch of old-timey nurses doing a goofy dance, while a giant personification of death messed around. And Mr. Bean also showed up, because why not? Not everything has to be hyper-serious all the time at these events. They're also a celebration, you know? The second answer is that the Paris opening ceremony did also have other displays worthy of the Olympics. You've only seen the clips online. The opening ceremony started by each team sailing into Paris by riverboat in a long procession, lined by ornate statues of prominent French figures. Then the weird shit happened. Then a knight on horseback with polished armor carried the Olympic torch into the plaza, accompanied by France's Republican Guard. The Eiffel Tower was lit up with a light show and glowing white versions of the Olympic rings. There were a few speeches, before finally ending it with the oldest living French Olympian passing the torch off to finally light the Olympic fire, in the park where the first hot air balloon was ever flown. And then Celine Dion led a musical performance from the top of the Eiffel Tower. The entire ceremony taken as a whole was worthy of the Olympics. All the pieces are there. It's just that those weird parts which went viral online, they were only a small bit of the ceremony. Again, still fucking weird. I personally don't care that much, with the exception of the child being near the ball flapper. That shit should have never happened. But everything else for me ranges on a scale of meh to cool. I'll have a good laugh at the bearded lady or the fat chick, but I'm not going to hop aboard the latest culture war outrage about Christianity under attack or something, when the facts of the story are just not that clear. I think what's happening here is that the right in the English-speaking world have finally started to adopt the SJW-style outrage politics that saw the radical left rapidly come to power in the mid-2010s. I don't necessarily blame them, it is a method that works after all, but what happened to those SJWs afterward? After just a handful of years under their cultural hegemony, they became universally hated, all of their goodwill was spent, and their changes are currently being rolled back as we speak, regardless of how many tantrums they throw about it, because nobody likes them anymore. If the right decides to act just as insufferably, they will share the same fate.